Hello everybody, welcome to our webinar. My name is Sergey and today's webinar will be dedicated to some principles how we use ZAPTEST to work with remote devices. As usual, I will ask you to keep yourself muted. If you have any questions to me, please use private chat to submit your questions. I will review your questions during our Q&A session. Our webinar will consist of a few parts. At the beginning, I will make a brief introduction about ZAPTEST. Then I will have main technical part of the webinar. And at the end, I will allocate some time for Q&A. As a company, we've been in the business over 20 years. We position ourselves as a full-stack cross-platform testing solution. With ZAPTEST, we can automate applications on mobile, Windows, Mac, Linux platforms, and we fully support agile development methodology. We're based in Atlanta, Georgia. Our core technology is one script, which allows us to create test procedure once and execute it anywhere. We are the test optimization leaders, which means that with ZAPTEST, you can automate any application, you can meet any development schedule, and you can accommodate any skill set of your team members. As a full-stack technology, we provide user test automation in a cross-platform fashion. This means that you can create your test script in one platform or environment and play it as is anywhere else. Besides that, we offer other technologies which are not commonly offered in the industry. For example, with ZAPTEST, you can auto-generate test documentation. This may offset a lot of man-hours of writing documentation manually. ZAPTEST can help you with this. We also have technology for parallel device execution. The MRun ensures just-in-time regression testing. With MRun, you can connect to multiple devices with different platforms or different browsers and execute same tests simultaneously on all of them. We also have device host management private cloud system, which we can provide to ZAPTEST users. The ZAP Farm offers test device management capability, provides universal access to the devices across organization for different purposes. You can use it for manual testing, for application deployment, automated testing, of course, and parallel test execution. With ZAPTEST today, you can do API or web services testing. You can use the tool for an API standalone test automation or for creating combined API and UI testing framework. Recently, we released the load component, which enables our users to do API performance testing as a continuation of their quality assurance process. As you can see, today ZAPTEST can be used as one-stop solution for a majority of quality assurance needs. Okay, during today's webinar session, I will review and show you examples how we can work with remote devices. In the process, I will use remote Windows machines to connect, create simple test case, execute it, and show you some additional features how you can do this, what you can do with this. We have two main approaches to work with remote devices. We can connect to a remote device via ZAP viewer and operate with the ZAP viewer as a standard application under test for local system. Or we can use Multirun to connect to a remote device and use Multirun debug features to develop test script, debug it, and then use MRun for individual or parallel test execution. So I will start with ZAP viewer. To connect to a remote device in a ZAP viewer, I press this button. It opens Environment Manager or Device Manager. Here we have list of devices. I am connected to ZAP Farm, so all devices available through ZAP Farm appears in my device list. From here, I'm going to connect to remote Windows machine Sandbox 1. For this, I click this button, which connects me to the remote device. This is Windows machine, and shows me its desktop. I have full control over its desktop. On the remote machine, I'm going to launch the browser. I will use Chrome browser and navigate to our home, our website. Okay, so this is our website homepage on the Chrome browser on the remote device, which is Windows remote machine. Now I can use standard scan GUI feature of ZAPTEST to scan the UI of my ZAP viewer. I will keep default selection here for all screen. For application object, I can change its name. I will use ZAP. And I can define view. As you can see, the steps for scanning are pretty much the same as like I would be using ZAPTEST against any local instance of Windows or web application. From the first scan, I'm going to select and keep a few objects. I'll use one for ZAPTEST logo, elements for the main menu links, and a little other. I can use the remote connection to navigate through the browser. So I can click login link on it. That brings the login page. And I can add additional views by scanning the ZAP viewer once again. I define another view for login. Okay, from this view, I will select and keep few objects. I need to perform login steps, so I need to use edit fields for username and password. And the login button. I will quickly modify logical names for some objects. Let's use txt username for this, txt password for the password field, and button login for the image login. Okay, I have enough objects to start building my test script. From the homepage view, I will start by verifying the logo text, ZAPTEST. I will use exist method. Also, I will verify navigational links, solution, onboarding, download, and then I need to click the login link. From the second view, once I'm on the login page, I need to verify it. I will use username will exist. I will type or enter value of the user ID. Then I will type value for the password. and click login button to login. Okay, I add a few steps in my test script. I can run them. Of course, ZAPTEST will run my test against the ZAP viewer. If I go back to the home page, I should be able to execute my test. Let me save it first. Press the run button. And my test is running. If I navigate to the ZAP viewer, I can see test steps in action. Okay, so this is one approach. This is when we connect to a remote device using the ZAP viewer, and we basically operate with the ZAP viewer as a standard Windows application. Another way is to have similar steps done through the MRAN. Let me close my connection to the ZAP viewer. Navigate to the MRAN. Okay, here I have a list of my devices. I will use the same device as I used in the ZAP viewer before. So I need to connect to my sandbox one. I will use display mode. Okay, so this is the same device, same application, and same state, same page where it left off. So I can continue from here. How we work with device, remote device in a Multirun mode. In one script, I need to enable mrun debug. So I navigated to the mrun debug tab, and here I need to select device from device list. Selected sandbox one, and my mrun debug mode is now enabled. You can see mrun debug mode title. The closing button appears on top. From here, I can refresh or reconnect the view. I can close the view. I can open this view in an external viewer, ZAP viewer, and also I can make scanning operations. I can use standard scan or use special scan modes as we usually offer. Let's say I need to scan this user zone page. So press this button. Use the same application object and define another view. Okay, as a result, I have another view added to the list of objects with all the objects that ZAPTEST identifies. Let me select and keep a couple objects here, one for the welcome message, another for the user zone. I will delete all others. Next step that I need to include in my test will verify the welcome message. Then I need to navigate to the user zone and select downloads link. I can do this manually through the debug. I have full control of the remote device, so if I navigate to the user zone, I can see that it shows me expanded list of submenus. I cannot scan this submenu. What I can do instead is to add the object menu. Let me go to the GUI map. I will add a couple of objects. First it will be area object. So this area approximately covers extended list of submenus. Why I use area? Because I need to ensure ZAPTEST finds downloads link and not confusing with my download link here. Now I will add object for downloads. And I need to make it relative to the area. Okay, so ZAPTEST will find downloads element within the area. Let me add a few steps. First, I need to verify the welcome message would exist. Then I need to use mouse move over the user zone and click downloads. All right, when we are in a mRun debug mode, we can use any debugging features of standard one script module. So what I can do, I can run from step, I can set a breakpoint, and I can use step-by-step execution. And right now, ZAPTEST will run my test against remote devices, which I have enabled in the mRun debug mode. My test execution paused on a breakpoint, and I can use step-by-step execution. You can see on the small window on the side that which represents view of the remote device. And I was able to click on the downloads link in the submenu. In my mRun debug mode, I can see updated view. Now I'm on a downloads page. Let me scan this page. Okay, I will use few objects in here. Just to make basic verification, I will use current version of ZAPTEST, license agreement link, readme link, and user zone. Okay, for the user zone, I want to use just the text. Let me modify text property and its name. And I will use partial recognition to ensure that ZAPTEST finds user zone by its text only. Let me check updated object. Okay, looks good. Now I need to add one more object, which I will use to do logout step. Logout will be visible when I navigate over the user zone. So it will find and click it. Okay, let me add steps here. Okay, I'm checking the version number, link for user agreement, license agreement. More. Then I need mouse move over the user zone and click on to logout. Okay, when logout is successful, I should be able to see and verify the home page. I can pick the login link, and this exists method for this. Okay, again, I can use debug features to run these steps only. continues run from this line, and I still have the device connected in the Emron debug. Okay, now I can run my test from start to end against the same device. I'm on the home page right now. All right, test run is complete. I can open and view test results to make sure it's successful. Okay, I have test status. I can view all through all steps. Expand lines to view images. So all looks good. Okay, so far I created a test script against remote devices and the Chrome browser. What I'm going to do next, I will connect to another device. I have another Windows machine, Sandbox 2. I will connect to it. But on this machine, I will use different browser. I will use Firefox. Let me launch Firefox on it. Get to a website. Okay, I need to make sure that my test runs successfully on either one. So what I can do in one script, I can switch in the mrun debug to second remote device, Sandbox 1, Sandbox 2, I'm sorry, and run same test on it. So let me run it. Okay, test finished. Let me open test results. Review the steps. All right, test looks good. So I have my test run successfully on another machine with different browser. So I have my test running fine on two different remote devices with two different browsers. I'm done my debug part. What I can do next, I can use my test for multi-run execution. So I close mrun debug mode, switch to the mrun. Here I have connection to both my remote machines. Switch to the dashboard so you can see them both on the same page. And when I press run, ZAPTEST will execute my test in parallel or simultaneously on these two devices. For multi-run execution, ZAPTEST provides different colors for step indicator for the cursors, so it's easy to see where the progress goes on each device. ZAPTEST interacts with devices independently. Okay, my test run has finished. Let me open and view test results. In the test results, I have information about both my devices, Sandbox 1, Sandbox 2, both passed. When I expand the device section, I can see all the details about individual steps, including images. So basically, this is how we work with remote devices. We can use two different approaches, either connect to the remote device via ZAP viewer and automate it, or use mrun debug feature to scan the remote device's view and create our test script. What else we can do with this setup? We can create configuration file which will remember how we connected to the remote devices still. So next time we don't need to perform connection manually. How we do this? In the file menu, I select save configuration. I need to specify configuration name. Now when I close connection to the devices, next time I open ZAPTEST, navigate to the mrun, I can quickly connect to those devices using the configuration file. For this, I select open configuration, select the configuration file we just created, and ZAPTEST connects to my Sandbox 2, Sandbox 1 and Sandbox 2 devices. When we need to run our test unattended or run tests using CI integration, we can use command line execution. In case of the mrun, it's also possible. I will show you how we can do this. Let me close these connections. Close the test. Okay, this is the directory where we have ZAPTEST executable. I'm going to open a PowerShell from here. And I need to enter command to execute my test. As part of this command line, I need to specify location of the device's configuration file. its extension, of course, MRC. And location of the test file itself. Yeah, this is the name of my test script, test itself. All right, let me try to execute it. While performing this command, Windows will launch ZAPTEST, navigate to the mrun, execute configuration file, which connects to my two devices, Sandbox 1 and Sandbox 2, and then starts the test execution. During the test run, I can check the device, can navigate to the device tab to see the progress. Okay, test run has finished. I can manually launch and view test results. Here are my devices with all the details. And my test run has finished successfully. The command, after executing the test run, will report back the status. It tells me that finished run with pass status and location of the test results file. So this information can be used by CI tool like Jenkins for further processing. As you can see, so far I used remote devices with browser applications already launched on them. But what happened if I need to run this test unattended? I schedule it for the, let's say, for the night, and something happened to the device. It gets restarted, so the browser is no longer open on it. That means that my test will fail. What we can do to overcome this, I'll show you real quick. Let me restart my ZAPTEST because it's still in read-only mode. Okay, let me go to the mrun. First, I will connect both devices to close browsers. Okay, then I will close connections. And now I will reconnect to those devices, but I will use a different way. As you see, Environment Manager shows me a list of applications. I can either connect using display mode, which means that ZAPTEST will control device as the whole interface, or I can specify which application to use. So let me select Chrome on my sandbox one. Here I can also specify the URL. So now when Multirun connects to the remote device, it also opens the Chrome browser and navigates to our website. Let me do same thing for my second device, but here I will use Firefox. Also specify the URL. Okay, here it opens the Firefox browser and navigates to the homepage. So now I have two devices with desired browsers launched with our homepage navigator. So these devices are ready for the test execution. What I can do next, I will resave my configuration file. So this way, when I open the configuration file, it will not just connect to the devices, but launch the browsers and navigate them to the to the website. Let me close browsers and then disconnect. And I'm going to run the same command. So close the ZAPTEST. And rerun this command one more time. I got the imitation warning because I'm using free edition, which limits me to the number of command line executions. So let's see if, yeah, at least we can see that ZAPTEST, the command launches the ZAPTEST, opens the configuration, which connects me to the remote devices and launches browsers on it. Yeah, unfortunately, I already reached the limit of allowed command line executions, so my test run will not happen. But anyway, I can open it manually and perform manual execution. So we can still have this, at least this way, make it run. Okay, so this is main technical part of my webinar. I covered everything that I plan to do, and we can move to the Q&A sessions. Again, if you have questions, please submit them using the private chat. Address your questions to me, which can be identified as the host or presenter. Okay, I have first question came in. How can I close Windows sessions after the test run? You can close ZAPTEST instance and disconnect remote sessions. It can be done if If you're using command line, command prompt, you can show you. There is one argument -q. If I add -q, that means that command will shut down ZAPTEST instance and close connections to the remote devices. Okay, I have another question. What will happen when browser already open on a remote device? I understand you mean that when I use configuration when we open the browser, and if it's already open, yeah, that ZAPTEST will open second instance of the same browser, so it should not affect the test execution. I think I can demonstrate this. So if I close these connections with browsers open and reopen this configuration file, it should just add a second instance of the same browser on each device. On this device I have two Firefox browsers, and here I have two tabs for the Chrome. But my test will be able to successfully execute. Okay, I have one more question. Will the browser launch when we use another platform? Okay, so for the other platform we need to use different approach. The way the configuration with opening specific application only available for Windows platform. And to make it work, you need to install Windows Agent. We have that component available for download from our website. You simply get it to remote Windows device, install it there, and it should be integrated with DNC server in order to work. After that, you will get a list of applications similar to what you saw on iConnect to my Windows devices. And yeah, if you need to implement it on a different platform, you can always add steps to make a login to launch desired application, because you have full control of the device through the remote connection. You can click on icons, you can use Start menu, or you can execute a command on a remote device without any problems. Okay, I think this is it. I don't have any more questions. I will conclude this webinar. Thank you very much for participating. Please keep using ZAPTEST. Again, if you have any questions, comments, please use our forum, our chat on our website, and we'll be happy to help you with any questions and provide our assistance. Again, thank you very much. Have a great day. Bye-bye.